I have been greatly looking forward to this. I said you're highly quotable. Let's start with this one. The Queen just scares the shit out of me.
That is still true. Yeah.
Why?
Because she told me to be quiet. And that was very scary. I was at a party in Buckingham Palace, and it was British Book Week, you know, and she invites everybody to do with books. And I thought I'd like to meet the Queen since I was there, and I didn't think I'd get a chance to go very often to Buckingham Palace, and so I asked an equerry, could I meet the Queen? And he said, oh, yes, very easy, you'll just form a semicircle and...
Well, by yourself?
Well, I think that's what he meant, actually. As you see, I comfortably do. And so I found the Queen, and in fact there was a couple of other friends with us, and we smiled at her, and she came up to us, and she said, and what do you do? And I hate myself for this. It shows what an idiot I am, but I just said, I am the best reader of stories in the whole world. Complete idiot. And the Queen, quite understandably, went... Well, she turned to the next person and she said, and what do you do? And he said, Mum, I teach dyslexic children to read. And we've found that if you colour the pages and you colour the letters, it helps the children to absorb the information more quickly and easily. I, standing next to them, very stupidly said, gosh, that's fascinating, how interesting. Whereupon the Queen turned to me and said, be quiet. And I then said... Oh, I'm so sorry, Your Majesty, I got carried away with excitement. Whereupon again she went... Then she started to tell us all about her morning when she'd been at a school. I was at a school in North London, and the children were so stimulated by the books they read. And I could feel the importance that literature has in the lives of children. And she went on burbling a bit like that, and then I then said... Well, you see, Your Majesty, just, you know, we're so lucky because our first language is English, in which the best literature of the world has been written. Imagine, Your Majesty, for example, I don't know where I got the nerve to do all this, but imagine if you had been born Albanian. I don't know where I got that from. And, of course, she went... Yes. And sort of ran away.
In olden days, she would have had your head removed.
Well, it should have been, because, I mean, I was being very silly. But...
Yes, but when she said, be quiet, didn't a part of you want to go, no?
It definitely did, because I don't like being told to shut up, even by the Queen. But... You know, it was her house, after all.
That is true. And when you got your OBE a few years later, it wasn't the Queen, it was Prince Charles who gave it to you. Was that a relief?
You've done your research. Very good.
Charles calls me all the time. He said, watch out for this woman.
He's a different kettle. He's lovely.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like him very much.
You've been coming to Australia for 20 years now. You've got a farm in New South Wales. What is it about Australia that so suits you?
I love the irreverence of Australia. I love the fact that there isn't much of a class system here. You know, some people say there is now a class system in Australia. I hope that's not true, because it's one of the things that I really relish about this country, is that they tell you to fuck off if you're, you know, and I love that. I just love it.
Would you have respected the Queen more if she told you that?
I know she can. But, you know, she didn't that day. But as I'm drawing now to the end of my life, I want a new energy from somewhere, and I'm getting it in Australia. And that's why I want to come and live here, and that's why I've got residency here.
Now, Miriam, not a lot of people can name the best day of their life, but you can, can't you?
Well, I think the best day of my life was when I got into Cambridge, actually. I don't know what you were thinking of.
That's what I was
thinking of.
thinking
The best day of my life was when I got into university, because I was a fat, plain, silly, unfulfilled, nervous person. And I knew that if I got into Cambridge, I'd be fabulous. And I am.
How did you know? Were you like the butterfly in the cocoon?
I knew because I lived in Oxford and I saw what the students had. They were always in groups laughing and doing dangerous things in public. And there were libraries and there was a theatre, there was a community. And I thought, I will belong somewhere. And when you're A, Jewish, B, short, C, plain, D, fat, what's going to happen to you? What have you got to look forward to?
There's another 22 letters of the alphabet. Don't give up.
Well, I thought that it would be the makings of me, and I really think it was.
I want to throw another quote at you to do with Cambridge. I specialised in oral sex at Cambridge. Afterwards, it's been a very important part of my work.
And I'm terribly good at it. In fact, I think I probably got a degree in it. One of the things about Jewish girls is that you don't get fucked. You do oral sex. That is what you do. And it's told, you know, almost your parents tell you that. They say, don't get fucked, suck.
Did your parents suggest that to you?
No, actually,
not in as many words.
My
obviously.
poor parents would have been shocked out of their mind at something like that. No, I think it's just, it is a fact, though. If you read literature of the 50s, you'll find that that's what Jewish girls did. And that's what I did.
Why Jewish girls, though?
Well, Mummy said Jewish girls don't sleep on the ground. And I don't know if that's got anything to do with it, which is why she wouldn't let me go to guide camp. Why am I telling you these things?
It's fine, we're amongst friends, it's quite all right. You're in your adopted home, everyone will take care of you. At Cambridge, you were in the Footlights Club with the people that became Monty Python, now known to many in the world.
I didn't sleep with them, and I didn't suck them, by the way. I've been very picky.
Well, they're known to us as comic geniuses. How did you see them?
Shitty. I didn't like them. They were anti-Semites, and they didn't like women, and they didn't like me, because I was at that time, probably a pushy little broad, and they weren't interested in people like me.
So how did they treat someone like you?
Not too well, to be honest. I mean, look, it's 40 years ago, and we're all different people, and we've all grown up, and I do think that they are comic geniuses. I think Cleese, whom I particularly disliked, is a comic genius.